In Samaria, he sent messengers before him to a nearby city that they should make ready for him. And close to the spot where, at the start of his ministry, he had spoken to the woman at Jacob's well, the Samaritans now refused to receive him.
Well, would he but tell us that he would remain here in Samaria, this Nazarene, we would make him welcome. We have heard much good of him.
But if he go up to Jerusalem...
Jerusalem? This is no halfway resting place for those bound for that den of deceivers. Jerusalem, indeed. We'll have none of it. And come to that, we'll have none of any Jew who seeks to be a part of it.
Lord, wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them?
Even as Elias did.
Ye know not what manner of spirit ye are of. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them.
Countless other men and women must have spoken to the Master as he went about his work, and many of these must have come quite close to him on his journey southward toward Jerusalem. Oftentimes they drew together to sit by the wayside or out in the fields to listen and to question him.
Master, that young man over there beside the oak tree, a lawyer by his robes, has stood up to question thee.
Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?
What is written in the law? How readest thou?
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself.
Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live.
And who is my neighbor?
A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him, and went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. And on the morrow when he departed, he took out 2 pence, and gave them to the host, and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3, thinkest thou, was neighbor unto him that fell among thieves?
He that showed mercy on him.
Go and do thou likewise.
There was an upland village where Jesus knew that there would be a warm, affectionate welcome. And that was the village of Bethany, over the crest of the Mount of Olives. It was a quiet place, far from the crowds and noises of the holy city. And here, in the circle of 3, whom John tells us that he loved, Jesus came with his disciples to rest a while. It was the house of Mary and Martha. Martha, it seems, was a proud and busy hostess, happy to do all she could for the visitor from Galilee. We can imagine Jesus with some of his disciples and with Mary, sitting in the sunshine of the open terrace, waiting perhaps for the meal that Martha was making ready. And we might picture the worthy Martha herself baking bread with one of the disciples close to her, watching and talking with her as she worked.
There now, let me give these loaves a moment more, friend John, and ye shall have the best bread baked in Bethany.
The savor of it tells me you speak truly, Martha.
Time was, some feast days past, when the mother of Jesus helped me to bake bread here, when he was but a boy. Oh, John, how splendidly he has grown up to be a man. I heard him talking here to Lazarus last night. My brother hangs on every word he says.
As well he might.
And for that matter, so does Mary. Here, watch ye the bread while I go out to her. So much to do today, and yet she goes on sitting there.
She sitteth at the feet of Jesus, listening to him.
When she should be here helping me. That is a thing I will go out and settle with him.
Martha, my dear, impatient little Martha.
Nor is that all, Master. The blind man hath told many others, and all of them now wait to hear thee speak down in Jerusalem.
And not the blind alone, dear Lord, but all the halt and maimed. Here cometh Martha. Something would seem to be amiss, I think.
Lord, dost thou not care that my sister hath left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me.
Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things, but one thing is needful. And Mary hath chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her.
Then Jesus began at last to preach the gospel of the kingdom around Jerusalem itself. The murmuring of the Pharisees and Sadducees against his teaching began to grow and stir around him, as he knew it inevitably must. But calmly he went on showing, in his healing works and living words, the way toward salvation. Out beside some pathway in Judea, he gave them now the parable which, possibly more than all others, showed to those with ears to hear it the love of the Father for his children, the infinite mercy and the tireless tenderness of the love of God. Looking around at the Jewish faces before him, Jesus said,
A certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of the goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husks that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. And when he came to himself, he said, How many hired servants of my father have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and I will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired servants. And he arose and came to his father, but was yet a long way off. His father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he drew nigh to the house, he heard the music and dancing. And he called one of the servants, and asked what these things meant. And he said unto him, Thy brother is come. Thy father hath killed the fatted calf, because he hath received him safe and sound. And he was angry, and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him. And he answering said, Lo, these many years do I serve thee. Neither transgressed I at any time thy commandment, and yet thou never gavest me a kid, that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as this thy son was come, which hath devoured thy living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fatted calf. And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. It was meet that we should make merry and be glad. For this thy brother was dead, and is alive again, and was lost, and is found.
Not all who felt the touch of healing, however, gave due thanks for it. It was at this time, as he entered into a certain village, that Luke tells us, there met him 10 men that were lepers, which stood afar off.
Jesus, Master, have mercy on us.
We have heard tell that there be other lepers thou hast healed.
Mercy, Master, have mercy on us.
Master, goest thou so close to them?
Have mercy on us.
Go. Show yourselves unto the priests.
And St. Luke says simply, and it came to pass that as they went, they were cleansed.
Behold them as they go.
They are not wasted anymore. Their cheeks are full and they are strong again.
How well they walk, how well they look, Brother Andrew.
One of them has turned again and is come back to Jesus.
Oh, Lord and Master, I am whole again. With all my heart, I thank thee.
Were there not 10 cleansed? But where are the 9? They are not found that return to give glory to God, save this stranger. Arise, go thy way. Thy faith hath made thee whole.
And now, the Pharisees threw yet another kind of challenge in his face, tried yet another trick that might confound him. Jesus sat there, teaching those around him, and his disciples, of course, were with him.
My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God, or whether I speak of myself.
And they brought to him a woman taken in adultery.
Master, the scribes and Pharisees bring hither a woman unto thee.
Leave me alone. Do not pull me so.
She seemeth to be greatly troubled.
I like not the look of it.
Peace, Thomas. Hear what this Pharisee hath to say of it.
Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act. Now Moses in the law commands us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
He acts as if he hath not heard the words. He hath stooped down to write with his finger on the ground.
Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
See how they leave him.
Aye, Peter. They be condemned by their own consciences.
Let them go. We are well rid of such as they.
And now the master is alone with her.
Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee?
No man, Lord.
Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
This God-bestowed ability to read the hearts of the penitent led him also to discern a need for love and comfort, where the custom of the day was apt to show but little tolerance. One of these tender incidents occurred on yet another of these days. St. Matthew tells us, "Then were there brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray." The little children of those days had many a difficulty in being heard and heeded, and the disciples would have thrust them out of his sight. But Jesus willed it otherwise.
Suffer the little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven.
To which Matthew adds simply, "And he laid his hands on them, and departed thence."